2, 1, power up!
And as we begin the autonomous period, looks like Blue's gonna need to win this match to stay in it. But Code Orange on red gets to the scale first, taking possession, but Torbots reclaim it for Blue. Code Orange gets a second cube on the scale for red. Torbot's second attempt misses. Looks like red will come out of autonomous with the scale in their possession. And as drivers now take control, Griffin Gear on red immediately headed over first to their own switch, making sure they have control of that before they move on. Rock trying to take back the scale for Blue, but they're going to have to go fast to beat Code Orange, who is placing another cube up there for red. At the moment, Code Orange continuing that. Rock trying to counter that over on the blue side. As it stands, each alliance has possession of their own switch. Torbos trying to attack the red side switch, but Griffin Gear making sure that they maintain control. Scale's getting closer to neutral, but two red robots, Code Orange and Griffin Gear, placing cubes to bring it back to red. With just over a minute 30 left to go, red is leading by about 60 points, but blue has plenty of time to come back. On the red alliance, Triton Tech starting to fill up the exchange. Looks like over on blue, Rock still trying to take back the scale. Don't quite get it yet though. Torbots grabbing cubes from the pyramid, launching them into the exchange. Griffin Gear making sure they still have firm control of the scale for red. Meanwhile, the red switch is being hotly contested. Red has control for now, but Torbots is piling cubes on, trying to take that away from them. With just under a minute left to go, red maintains a lead that is widening. As they control the scale and their own switch, they're earning 2 points a second to blue's 1. Red still does have their switch, although Torbots are trying to take that once again. It looks like the red alliance has played a levitate power up, which will get them a free climb by the end of the match. Red still has the scale, and as we're moving into the last 30 seconds, they're getting ready to climb as well. Looks like Griffin Gear, who tipped over last time they were up here, is ready to try again. They're latched onto the rung, letting down forks to let their partners Triton Tech go up with them. Meanwhile, over on blue, Rock has the last few chances to score power cubes to try to push those into the exchange. With 10 seconds left, Griffin Gear and Triton Tech are up, climbing for the red alliance. Blue alliance still rushing to get cubes into the vault. They play a levitate power up. Looks like that's about it though, as we are at the end of the match. Are in. It is the Red Alliance taking it with a score of 442 to 205. That means that the Red Alliance is advancing to the semifinals. But first, let's get a round of applause for our Blue Alliance. And now we'll pass it over to RSN.
Second seed Alliance moving on to the semifinals. Steve, tell me about that match.
What was critical for Red here was they controlled their own switch almost the entire match, even having it be assailed. That sort of comfort and security that they had let them just have one robot working the scale for most of the match. 34-76 showing out. They've got the 2-cube auto on the same side working really well, with a third cube very possible. They did it in the first match. They were very close in the second match. They seem comfortable on the opposite side of the field, which makes sense considering how many matches they've run this year. Blue not really able to pressure Red enough to get them off their game.
That's definitely correct, Steve. Something that may have hurt the Blue Alliance here is the lack of being able to have more than one robot climb. It's not something you can quite get around.
They didn't have enough floor points to push Red into making worse decisions. They were just behind at the beginning of this on the scale, and there was never an opportunity for them to really tip it in their favor. It was at least 1 cube ahead the whole time, so not a lot of pressure on Red.
Yeah, tough match. Well played by Blue. Good job, guys. Let's take a quick peek at the 6v3 before we send it down to the